like to call this meeting of the Princeton City Council to order. Clerk, call the roll.
Mayor Green.
Here.
Councilmember Newman.
Here.
Gomez.
Here.
McCall.
Here.
And McCrankey. No, Selesky.
Here we go. Hang on. We're good. We're good. Here. All right. Yeah, all here. All right. Would you please stand and join me in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and go to public comment period. Public comment period is at the beginning and the end of the meeting. We ask that you limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. Tonight, I'll just say that if you are here discussing any kind of flooding or issues you have with water, we certainly let you talk as long as it's practical because we want to hear from you. And with that said, let's see. We'll go ahead and now, if you'd like to come up to the podium there, I know, Vern, just give your name, Vern. That's all we need.
Vernon Songroff, and I live at 25 South Gossey Boulevard here in Princeton. I've lived here about 4 years, and I've had water in my basement 3 times in that 4 years. 2 times in the last 10 days. Sewage water coming up, boiling up out of the stool. And when we tried to plug that stool with a towel, it came out of the tank of the stool. And then it came out of the sink. And it came in up out of the drain of the washer and went into the washing machine. You know, there's got to be a big problem of people pumping water into the sanitary sewer. And it needs to be addressed. Now I'm addressing the problem at my house in that I'm putting in the back check valve out in my front yard, which will cost me $4,000 just to have it installed. You know, that's being done on the 30th, so it's going to be done fairly quickly. I had it scheduled before. I got it the second time on Sunday. That's the sanitary part. The other part is the stormwater, which my backyard, from my deck to my neighbor behind me patio, was a lake, probably 14, 15, 16 inches deep, running like rivers down on both sides of my house, all coming from the school area. I have some pictures and videos if you'd like to see them. I know we got a hell of a lot of rain, but something's got to be done to hold that back. I know this storm sewers are only so big. They can only handle so much. But some of it could be relieved by some suggestions I made was to either put a site raised in the ground on the other side of the sidewalk by the school with smaller drains on the other side to let it out slowly. Or, in essence, you could just do is raise the sidewalk right through there and let the sidewalk be the dam and hold back some of that water. I mean, it was tremendous. We got a lot of rain in a very, very short period of time, I'll agree. I don't know if you'll ever be able to hold it all back. Another thing is there's a small drain about 14 inches square in my backyard that helps drain my backyard out. Now, nobody in the city knew it was there. But I don't know where it goes. It might go into the sanitary sewer, and it might be part of the problem. But I have no way of telling where it goes. My sump pump goes out of my house. I bought the house 4 years ago, and goes into the ground. I don't know where it goes. I might be part of the problem. But I need some way of figuring out where the hell it goes. I mean, maybe to be by southeast corner of my lot is where that 14-inch drain is. Now, along the bushes there's a sanitary cleanout. I think that's the old one from the house next to me. A little farther up, there's a new one, when you can see where they came out through the driveway and put the new one in. So there's some kind of sanitary drain in there too. So does those drains go to the sanitary or do they go to the storm? I don't know. And somebody needs to figure it out. I mean, I didn't put them in there. I just know that's where they are. And, you know, 2 years ago, when this happened on the 4th of July, same thing. I had Quint clear them up there, and Quint said, well, we'll put 2 new drains up by the school. Well, that never got done. And I don't know what it's going to take this time to get something done. If I have to come to every meeting, I will. But something's got to be done. It just, you know, it can't happen every time it rains, you know. And the sanitary, that's a bigger problem, you know, throughout. And I think there's a lot of people pumping. You know, every time it rains, you have sanitary problems. So there's been a lot of sump pumps pumping water into the sanitary sewer, and that needs to be addressed. You know, and that's as far as I'm concerned, or no, that's illegal in this town. So it should be addressed. And I don't know whose job it is to address that, but it sure as hell should be done. And, you know, because there's more people than me. I mean, I can't remember what day it was the first time that we got the flood. And I had backup sewage coming up out of my stool. Of course, I had that independent person come in and tear up the carpet, clean everything up, just vacuum everything up, dry everything up. On Saturday, they came and pulled out their drying equipment because they said it was good and dry. Well, on Sunday, it did it again. But then they had their equipment out of it because it had got drenched in sewage. So I'm trying to do my part. I hope you do yours.
Thank you, Vern. Appreciate that. And
If you want to see things, I can bring it up and show it to you.
I'll tell you what we're going to do. When we get done with stick around for the end of the meeting. We'll have a few minutes
Right.
before we go into executive session. If the council like to take a quick look at that, that'd be great.
All right. Thank
So we've made great strides. I remember Jerry's been on the council now for 10 years, Jerry, and we used to have a lot of pumps that went out, and we had to let the EPA know when we ran those pumps. Because basically, there's times we had I think 8 or 9 pumps out in the area. Now, very seldom does the pump go out, so it doesn't help you out, Vern. But we have made strides on this. And I was at your house Sunday morning, and I walked through your basement, of course, and I saw firsthand that toilet overflowing. And so you're right. There's 2 issues. There's the sanitary side and there's the storm side. And I appreciate you putting in the check valve or coming up for this month. So it's on the radar, and I know we're scratching our head as where all that water went. I saw that water in that I call the playground area at Washington School. I've never seen that much water sitting there, and I know Scott, who was kind there, Staples had an agreement. He's lived in his home 34 years. So as we get this surface water coming off of different areas of town, it shoots down 3 or 4 blocks, all of a sudden like a giant water slide, and of course you're the lowest part of the equation, or actually another half a block over to the west would be the lowest spot on Central Street there, where it's a bowl there. And so we appreciate you coming tonight. None of us want to have sewage in our basement. I know I hate to jump here with Councilmember Slutsky. You had sewage back up too. It's the first time in a long time?
Twice recently, and I feel your pain because I just had all new sewer installed in my house. All the cast iron was taken out. I had PVC put in, floor cut out. Plumbers, however, neglected to put in the back valve that they're supposed to. And I got 8 inches in there. same sort of situation. They were supposed to come last Friday, but they couldn't get the water shut-off scheduled, so tomorrow's the day I'm getting a backflow. There's two types of those. One's a gate type, but you have to be there to shut off.
No,
You gotta go with the other type?
yeah, he said it was gonna be a flapper type.
Yep, yep. And you get access to clean that out, which is probably the way to go. But yeah, when you're in that situation, that's about all that I can do. But you know, the groundwater is another thing. We had saturation from that previous storm, and then with this on top of it, and I agree it was too much. It just overwhelmed both. So yeah.
And strides, like I said, have been made, real solid strides, and we're dealing with an enemy that we can't see. That these sewer lines are old, and we can't see what's going on underground. So, I don't say the council members have any other comments. Is there anybody else who'd like to discuss public comment tonight? Is there anyone? And you have a second opportunity. Go ahead, Scott. You can just come up and all you have to do is give your name, please.
I'm Scott Linder. I live on the corner of South Mercer Street and Crown, West Crown. And I've been dealing with backup water as far as I've had sewage come into my house. The trunk line from Main Street and Greencroft and Sunset Prairie comes to my street, the corner of my street, the T. And then from there it goes to a tile that goes directly to the wastewater plant. The reason I know this is we've come a long way, except for like when we got a lot of big rains, like we've had in the last couple of 10 days. But when the pump that went in down the Harp Tavern, that alleviated a lot of stuff that used to happen almost regularly on my house. But when Sunset Prairie went in, the subdivision there, that's when a lot of my problems started with the sewage backup. And I would get 9 to 10 inches of sewage in my basement. And ruined a couple of washer and dryers. I've got backup water insurance, but they don't cover some aspects of that. And I noticed a big difference. Ray and I talked about it on Sunday. Was that when the parking lots, like the one across from Transamerican Insurance, and then the one behind Clark House, and the one behind, like, say, Faucets and that type of thing, when they got hard paved, from gravel to hard paved, there's a ton of surface water that comes down that street. And where Company Street is, it comes right there where that house is. He's a retired gentleman. And it comes across there, and then it kind of angles across. And then when you get to Randolph Street and West Crown Street, about 3 houses in, there's a greenhouse, and it comes right through their yard, and then across to the ball diamond. Most of the time, except for the last 10 days, when I start seeing water pooling in the wall diamond, that's when I know I'm going to get backup sewage in my house. Or just plain water, because the sewer lines can't handle it, storm sewers can't handle it. In the last 10 days, I've seen most of the time that the ball diamond's like 2/3 the way full of water. 10 days ago, in 34 years, I've never seen it clear full and water clear up to the school. And that's a lot of water. I mean, the center of that ball diamond to the elevation of where the school is probably a good solid 6 to 7 feet. And then where Vern is and so forth, like I'm on the high side of the street, and you go down, I'm also representing, she's sick tonight, but I'm also representing Angela Taylor, that's down second house from the end. Bill Beebe is there, and then Angela is the next one to the south.
Angela would be the house behind me.
Correct. But 10 days ago, she was frantic. She was a good friend of mine. She's called me, and she says, I've got water pouring in, and I don't know what to do. Got down there, and she had 2 feet of water in the basement. I'm not kidding you. It's 2 feet. I have boots that go up to here, put garbage bags on, and it was over my knees.
If I can interject something, in that 14-inch drop, in my backyard, there's a 3 or 4 inch pipe going towards her house. There's a 5 or 6 going towards the street. It may be backing up that way.
Yeah.
And coming, from the water coming in that and going down in there to her house. Just to let you know a little bit of the situation.
But yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of rain and the ground is saturated. We were talking about more rain on Wednesday and Thursday. So we're kind of trying to gear up for her as far as trying to keep the water as much as we can out of the basement. But she's in the low spot. But like I said, that in 34 years, that's the fullest I've ever seen that ball diamond yet. So Ray and I were talking on Sunday, and I think his idea of like trying to get retention ponds or something on that order to slow the water down, so that it can kind of slowly drift into the storm sewer system, would probably be the best way to do it at all possible. But I know that takes money and takes time. So I'm just speaking what I've been seeing in the last 10 days. So thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Anyone else for public comment?
Can I?
Yes.
Did you ever talk to Aaron about whether he had Chamlin and Associates over last week, and he said he was going to bring them by and see if they had any ideas?
No, they've actually been there on site. I know. I can't speak. I know that Aaron and I and Michael Ziering went out this afternoon, and we went and visited. We were over there by your site, and we discussed how all of a sudden all the water is coming from about 3 or 4 blocks away, working its way down to you. And we looked at catch basins because we wanted to make sure that they are basically open and not collapsed. So I can't answer that. I know Aaron's on this because there's about 3. You're on the radar in a positive manner, in the sense that not good for you, but we're trying to figure out how to fix this, and Teresa's working on this. So I think we have some ideas, and I think we have to get Chamlin to give us the thoughts of whether that could take a grade school playground area, and with the cooperation of the elementary school, make that into a retention pond that you wouldn't even tell it was a retention pond unless you had that heavy rain.
Yeah.
So we're just getting started on this because we keep thinking we're solving the problem, right, Jerry? But we keep hacking away at this. It's very frustrating.
Well, I think that maybe 5 years ago, when we thought we had it solved, some of the pipes got older and more plugged or clogged or something, and now it's ongoing.
It is. And those folks, in reporting the paper, we appreciate this. Homeowners that are pumping their water from their sump pumps into the city sanitary sewer, that is not allowed. It's not legal. It's not fair to your neighbor. And so you need to kick that water out into your yard and not pump it. And so we know there's some bad actors there. I know as a realtor. I know as a realtor, I get into houses and I look down and think, oh boy, they're pumping right from the sump pump right into the sanitary. And like you said, you don't even know where your sump pump water is going. I saw it goes outside your house there and it goes down into the ground in a pipe. And we don't know where that pipe's going. So I understand. Okay, well, Vern, thank you. Scott, thank you for being here tonight. We appreciate that. It's on the radar to be worked on. With that said, is there anyone else for public comment? Oh, yes. Yes, please, our tourism director. Victoria Epson, our tourism director, please.
Hi there, Mayor and council members. We just closed out our second concert of the season. I think it's overall been a big success. Somehow the crowds continue to surprise me. We had a great turnout. All the food vendors sold out of food. They had really long wait times. So I think it was overall a success. And I've only personally face-to-face and those reaching out to me, aside from a couple, have had positive feedback. But the kind of person that I am, I let the negativity really weigh on me because I really do care about all those business owners on South Main. So I just wanted to stand before you guys and ask for your feedback. We did send out, when I went to meet with the folks on both the original block and the block that we're hosting this season, If I wasn't able to meet with them, we sent letters out as well. And we did say we were going to do the entire series at the new location, but I just would like to hear from you all on if we need to look into maybe moving it back to that original location, taking in some of the feedback that we've received from the community. I could just use some support from you guys as well as the committee that we have. So.
While we're here tonight, before you sit down, go ahead. We'll start, Michael.
I had a conversation with Victoria actually earlier today on this, because we've got a business that has lost some sales that have called me, so I think it's something we could address off the record probably.
Sure.
I think the people that attended the concert like the new location because it affords more space and it gives better shade to people that are looking for a place to sit down and relax. I would love to get an assessment from each of the businesses that are usually open on Friday night and find out exactly what are their issues, if any, and how big are these issues. But I like the location, and the people I've talked to like it as well.
Thank you, Jerry. And let's go down to Hector. Any comments, Hector?
I think that there's something that I mentioned about some of the businesses, and I know that some of the businesses end up paying for the tourism part as far as the concerts go, and when they're not getting the business that it was afforded from before, I think that kind of becomes an issue. So I don't know as far as addressing that besides putting it back. As far as the location of it, for the people that are actually attending, I haven't heard anything that's been too bad from them, but it's mostly I think from the businesses.
Don?
I haven't heard anything negative. I did see a lot of people from out of town there, people I didn't recognize, but I think you're getting people's intent for tourism. Personally, I like the old location just because I think the theater's iconic with all the neons.
Yeah.
I like that, but there's nothing wrong with the new. I think the new areas just serves well too.
Victoria, I think a couple things. All positive. I appreciate the police department. Got a little confusing on that first concert when you're supposed to not vacate a parking spot, and they did a great job. They put their little sign up, and anytime after 2:01 p.m., it kind of clarified a little bit better. So I've had a lot of compliments about that location. So interesting thing is that you run through the season here, if it has to go back to the other end, so to speak, as far as overall, we'll have new surfaces down there, so to speak. It'll be friendly. But I think I've had a lot of positive comments about the current location set now. Okay. It's a tough one.
It is tough.
It is.
If anyone wants to come and meet with me or share an email, I'd really appreciate it. Like I said, this weighs on me. I do care about everybody on that block. I know it hits the businesses a little bit different because that's where all of our boutiques are. So, yeah.
Do you feel that there's an advantage from one location to the other as far as the parking's concerned and people coming? It's pretty even though, isn't it, do you think?
Say that again.
Do you think there's an advantage
Please.
on one location over the other as far as parking for the visitors?
I mean, I don't know if that would be a personal opinion, but I feel like if it's moved down in the location that it's in now, you've got all the parking around Soldiers and Sailors,
right.
and then all of the lots behind the buildings as well.
Yeah,
so.
too.
It's a tough one. I always felt like when you're down at the north end, I always felt like the eating establishments on that south end, kind of like they were the redhead stepchild, and then they get the attention. Now the attention's down there in their front door. Hopefully that's working out for them. I mean, they literally got they're at ground zero, and now that some of those vendors, food vendors, have moved around a little bit and tweaked a little bit, I think it's been more positive for those folks. Can I ask, Chief, has there been any negativism or on your end as far as traffic control and things like that? Is it all about the same on either end? What's your thoughts?
We haven't had any issues with it. I know that it's a little cooler down there because they're all two-story buildings, so the shade's on the road quicker, which I think makes it a little more pleasant to attend.
Yeah. that asphalt, that could be awful hot there, especially that north side. So Victoria, I'd say overall, Mike's already talked to you about a few things, tweaked a few things. I'd say overall, it seems to be positive. Like your Michael says offline, but we appreciate what you're doing. You're out there trying to venture through some challenges, you know what I mean? So we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Victoria.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anybody else on public comment? Very good. Okay, we're going to look now at the minutes, please.
I move that we approve the minutes from our regular council meeting on July 7th, 2025.
Second.
Motion second. Are there any questions or comments about those minutes? Seeing none, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
Gillespie.
Aye.
And Mayor McBride.
Aye. Now on to the invoices, please, with City Clerk Janet Henning.
In the Department of Accounts and Finances, we have $233,342.32. The Department of Streets and Public Improvement, $132,703.85. The Department of Public Safety, $330,755.54. And the Department of Public Property and Utilities, $942,010.70, with a grand total of $1,638,812.41. Mayor, all council members present have confirmed their reviews of the invoices, and they're now submitted for disposition.
I move that we approve the invoices as presented.
Second.
Motion second. Is there any questions or comments from the council concerning those invoices?
That's a lot of money.
It is for 2 weeks. Yeah.
Don't remind
Okay. With that said, thank you. Gary, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
Gillespie.
Aye.
And Mayor McBride.
Aye. Thank you.
Next on the agenda, we have ordinance O-25-014, amending the city code of ordinances to lower standard signage height, allow temporary signage time limit extensions, and regulate monument signs. This is the second and final reading.
I move that we approve ordinance O-25-014.
Second.
Motion second. Before we go on to take a vote on that, is there any comments from the council concerning that? Any more thoughts on that, or you want to roll with it and see if we have to tweak it as we go along? Any comments from the council? Last call. Seeing none, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
Gillespie.
Aye.
And Mayor McBride.
Aye.
Next on the agenda, we have resolution R-25-022, authorizing sale of real estate.
I move that we approve resolution R-25-022.
Second.
Okay, we have motion second. This is the second reading on this. Is there any questions from the council? Seeing none, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
Gillespie.
Aye.
And Mayor McBride.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is resolution R-25-023, authorizing the city manager to enter into a lease agreement for occupancy of Tech Park lots 5, 12, 13, 15, and outlet 7 for a period of 45 days.
I move that we approve resolution R-25-023.
Second.
Motion and second on that, and Teresa's going to explain why we're going to lease this land out to these folks.
We'll go into this lease as a way for the company to start their project as soon as they can before we get through the closing process here. Ordering construction is time is of the essence when it comes to this business, so we're comfortable with them. We trust their follow through on everything. So this just gives us a little bit more of a legal standing to allow them to start that process. So.
Thank you, Teresa. Any questions from the council? Seeing none, clerk call roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
Gillespie.
Aye.
And Mayor McBride.
Aye.
I move that we reappoint board member Rodney Lang for a period of 3 years expiring July 30th, 2028 to the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions from the council concerning that appointment? Seeing none, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
Gillespie.
Aye.
And Mayor McBride.
Aye. Now we're on to our city manager report, please.
In your packet is the May 2025 report for the firefighters' pension. Actually be our last page of that packet there. One other thing I want to mention, as of today, I signed the document. We did submit for a DCO grant for $50,000 for a capital grant to use towards the stormwater issue on Church Street. So we've had an issue over there for 2 decades, I think. So last week we met, and actually before the storms, wasn't it? I can't remember now. It said we got to get this figured out. We picked the option that we're going to move forward with. Got the application submitted for the grants, and then we will make up the difference on the rest of that project, so we can at least make some headway as we're gradually making some of this headway. So we can try to alleviate a portion of that issue over there as well. So, and then I just want to say thank you twice for our departments. And I know Tori usually does during the beginning of the street concerts, but I sit there at the street concerts and I'm baffled. I mean, we see it from start to end, but I mean, police, fire, streets department, God bless them, and within our own office as well. There's a lot, even electric. I mean, they're there on standby. It's the amount of time that goes into putting these concerts on, and it's just. Everybody knows their roles now. That's what just you sit back and you go, look at this. It's just amazing. So anyway, the only reason I bring that up is I was blown away by that concert Friday, how many people were there. I don't know how many times I could not believe the amount of people, and people we didn't know. There were people from Iowa, Stark County, Kewanee. I mean, it was just coming up and saying how much they appreciate it. So I don't feel like I say that enough to our department, so I thank them all. And also for the storm cleanup. I know we all kind of have our own issues that are happening at our own homes, and our guys, girls are all out, moving forward with the other issues in the community and try to do it with as much enthusiasm as we can when we're dealing with our own stuff. But it's just, I know it takes a toll on them when these storms come in on the weekends, on nights and stuff like that. So I thank them for their time, their commitment, to not get overly, upset about stuff. But again, we have top notch, so I appreciate them all. So.
Anything else?
No.
Now, I was listening, but the $50,000 grant you applied for, did it get approved? I apologize.
It was actually $50,000 that was to be used towards other grants throughout the state, and either the projects didn't go forward, so the DCO came back to us and said, we've got $50,000 if you can put a profit towards it. So we've been trying to find that right project, and every project I presented wasn't getting vetted the way I wanted it to. And this one came up, and I said, do it. This is the good one.
Great.
This is the good one that we can tackle. So
it is. They're in the pipeline.
So it won't take the whole. I mean, it won't cover the whole cost, but it'll cover a chunk of it at least. So
good. Yeah. Thank you on that clarifying. I appreciate that.
Oh, and then we did apply for. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go for
our
it.
third round of the lead service line inventory grant. So that one is going in as well. So. Yeah.
Oh, any more good news? We'll take it. Okay, thank you, Teresa. On the mayor's report, what we're going to do in just a few minutes here, we're going to go into executive session, but I think what we'll do is, before we go in the back there, Vern, you got that video, if there's some of the council members want to see that real quick when we get done with the meeting here, before we go in the back, because otherwise, once we go in the back, we'll be in there for a while, and you folks will be gone, and we're not trying to avoid you. As Jerry and I were talking, since we're kind of the old dogs, I've been on the council about the same amount of time as Jerry, we keep working on this, and we do. We've had some good projects. When Jerry and I first got on, there were some issues over there in Greencroft and Sunset Prairie. We put this bypass line in over there by Park Tavern to help eliminate some pressure. We did some work over in Fox Creek to eliminate pressure.
Over on East Thompson as well, there was a big problem that was alleviated with a new path or route or something with the pipes. And it relieved a lot of people's basement. And we're here, but again, we can't sit back and expect that everyone's going to be happy. It's going to work forever. As we see, there's still other areas we have to look into.
We have worked hard. Just before we got on the council, they decided that take and work that excess flow of sewage out into a lagoon that they built out about a mile and a half south of town. With the idea we could pump it back in when we had time. So there's been a lot of money spent on this project. So very, very challenging and frustrating because we think we're just over. But we do know we gained because we have near as many pumps going out on this whole thing. So thanks, Jerry, for having your input on that. We're trying. We are. And you folks that have had problems, you're on the radar to get some relief. And that is said with all sincerity. I would say in my final comments here as mayor's report, as council members, when we have a rain event, I would encourage you council members to get out of bed at night and go drive around and look at these areas. We got about 5 or 6 common areas that we still catch water. We think about Boyd and Maine, and we think about down in front of the Ace Hardware store. We think about there's certain places that we're still catching a lot of water. But now when we look at Vern, Sonnegroth, and Scott's area there by Washington School, we need to be watching that. So when you get a rain, council members, get up and go look at it, okay? And when people like Vern call, if they call you, I think they like to call the mayor. I don't know if you guys get calls too, but are your phone numbers posted on the website? But we need to go look at those things while it's going on and not wait till the next morning, because the time to see Vern's issue is when he's got 6 inches or so of water just coming through the toilet, which we had the chance to see. It helps us understand what's going on. So I would just encourage council members, jump out and go look at this stuff. And that's how you're going to know what's going on. Very good, thank you. Any old business before the council this evening? Any new business before the council this evening? Any further public comment from anyone in the audience?
I have 2 things I forgot. Marion Street should be starting their paving tomorrow or the next day, this week. And then Maine and Peru, as you saw, they're starting to do the grinding and the overlay on that. They're still aiming for the end of the month. So.
You see all the street lights are up in their proper new places now.
It's already smoother.
Yeah.
So we're getting there. We're really close now. So.
Again, more good news. Thank you, Teresa. We appreciate that. Okay, with that said, we're ready for adjourning the meeting, please.
I move that we adjourn our regular council meeting this evening, convene into executive session under Illinois statutes to discuss setting of a price for sale or lease of property owned by the public body. Our next regular meeting of the City Council will be on Monday, August 4th, 2025, 6 p.m. at City Hall.
Second.
Motion second. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
Select.
Aye.
And Mayor Mabry.
Aye. This meeting is adjourned. And Vern, do you want to come up real quick and show the council members your video? We're going to executive session. You want to see it straight. That one.